We've spent the last 6 days sailing from Jamaica to Guatemala, while living our day-to-day lives on our 35-foot sailboat. Now, some days are easier than others, but to be honest, I think we're pretty good at this boat life. We've settled into rhythm and get to experience the unexpected every day. So, good morning to day 7.
We are very close on the hotel.
You gotta turn the thing off. Can you see if he's on? I mean, yeah. Is it a mahi?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah.
Small guy.
That's a big one.
Pretty good.
Now what do we do? We are looking at a week tomorrow that we've been out here on the ocean sailing from Jamaica to Guatemala. Currently we are passing Roatan Island, so we are 140 nautical miles from our destination, but 124 before we reach the mouth of the Rio Dolce that we are probably going to have to drop the dinghy and motor through. Or maybe we'll get wind, who knows. But it's been quite the eventful morning, but a sad one. Mr. Finnegan has flown the coop. We think late last night when we were lowering the sail and putting up, or lowering the spinnaker and putting up the head sail, he must have flown over to the islands because that's when we just started noticing the islands. So, or at least that's what we're hoping, or we're telling ourselves. It was fun having him, but he peed and pooped everywhere. So I think he was just taking advantage. He ate some mahi and tuna and bounced and had a nice sleep. But speaking of fish, I caught my own mahi this morning. All right, and indeed was a mahi. You want to see it? You want to see my catch? Beau started filleting it before I could get a picture with it. It was actually a decent size. That's a good amount of fish. Which Beau is currently passing me nachos that he made of for lunch.
Lunch is served.
Ooh, yeah. Is it hot? I can't grab it.
No, it's not bad.
How was your sail last night?
It was good.
Yeah.
Uneventful.
Yeah.
I mean, the weather's been great. Other than that one squally night that we had, where we ripped the main, or head. Bon appetit.
They're where?
Right here.
They're up front too. Where? Oh man. Oh, yes. Wow. Oh yeah. Whoa. Wow. Love it! Yes! There's so many! There's so many. I just saw kind of a splash and I was like, Oh man, wouldn't it be awesome if dolphins showed up right now and then boom, they popped up. There's one that has a white nose. Welcome to the official week of sailing. We are just outside of Guatemala. I can see Honduras now. I started seeing it this morning, and I could probably see Guatemala, but it's really cloudy up front, so I don't know if I'm able to see it or if it's just clouds. Welcome to Guatemala by Rainbow. However, we are about 48 nautical miles from our first stop that we have to go to, which is Livingston, and it's right in the mouth of the Rio Dulce, and I believe that's where we need to check in. However, the speed that we're going at, we won't get in until midnight. There is a little place that I read on Navionics that somebody anchored, which is a little bit closer, and we don't have to worry about getting through the sandbanks, which we'll probably talk about later. It's really sketchy to get to Livingston and get through the mouth to get into the Rio. So we may end up stopping there, dropping the dinghy, and then motoring. It's about a mile to motor to Livingston from this little spit of Guatemala that we could stop at beforehand. I'll show you in a map. But yeah, we are doing 3.3 now. It was a little bit sprinkly this morning. Beau's sleeping. I've been working on video this morning. It's just been really slow. We were doing a lot of flogging last night, but it's been pretty steady this morning, which we weren't expecting at all. We were expecting 0 wind through here. So I'm really excited that we're actually getting something. Actually, we're going 4.4 now. Wilson is a little bit louder. Sorry about that. We had another snag with him. He broke all of the cotter pins that Beau used to put in, so Beau replaced them, and he's been working great since. We are having a little bit of a sticky issue with the steering, so I'm thinking maybe that might be contributing to his braking. All that stuff can be looked at later once we get into the marina, but I'm so excited. But yeah, we've been welcomed by some rainbows this morning, and we're just cruising around, so We should be there soon. So weird, it's like a line of garbage. Well, sadly, the beam breach 4 to 5 knots that I had earlier this morning no longer exists. We are pretty much just bobbing here.
Yep. So we figure throw the 180 up and then hope the wind picks back up. So we could hopefully get close enough to then maybe we'll drop the dinghy in and just side tie.
Because right now we're still like
pretty far.
30 miles away from the entrance.
If, I think further. Yeah, 35 from Cabos Tres Puntos. We downloaded a grid file that's showing later today the wind should clock. And actually on the daily it clocks. So right now it's literally coming out of the west where we need to go. And as every hour it seems to clock a little bit counterclockwise. So hopefully by like 2 or 3 o'clock it'll be on our beam. And then, oh wait, 2 or 3 o'clock it should be directly behind us. So we should be downwind again. But it's just a model, so we'll see what actually happens. Gotta love the Mac Daddy. We're doing about 3-4 knots, and supposedly it's only blowing about 6-7 knots. So, I mean, it's doing really well, but hopefully we can keep this up.
Absolutely heartbreaking. This is the worst we've ever seen it. I mean, I can't even look at the water without seeing microplastic just floating about. Couldn't be better. Well, we're still trucking along at about 3 knots. We have our 180 up pretty much wing on wing. It's stayed steady, hasn't clocked yet. We're passing some of these little smaller keys in Belize, which is really neat to see. It's just, I never would have thought I would have traveled to some of these places. It's just so crazy. Places that we've never even heard of. So it's, yeah, I'm excited to get here to Guatemala. But we have about 20-ish nautical miles left to get to Cabo Tres Puntas, where we were thinking that we're going to drop anchor in order to drop the dinghy, because if you guys have followed along, our transmission is on the fritz and we cannot use our motor. So we're going to have to side tie the dinghy in order to get through, 1, the river, but 2, there is a sandbar in Livingston area to get into the mouth of the Rio Dulce, and there are specific points that you need to hit. And when we get closer to there, so if we were to go straight there tonight, if we keep this wind and this, we're going about 3 knots now. If we were to keep that up, then we're not going to be able to probably properly navigate the channel. They have waypoints that I've marked down, so I know where we need to go. So we're probably going to go ahead and do that. Unless for some reason we feel comfortable with the wind that we're going to get, I'm going to download another weather grid or another grid to see what the weather's going to be like. But I think that we're going to get west winds all morning. So it's probably going to take us a little over 3 hours to get to Livingston from Cabo Tres Puntas. So we're going to need to get up early in the morning, because what ideally we can do is get to Livingston, get checked in, and then head up the river with enough time to have daylight still left to get into the marina, because we were instructed by the marina to go ahead and anchor out if we can't get into the marina that day. So it's going to be also tricky getting into the slip without having a motor, so that's something that we're going to have to work out too. Lots of fun little twists to this adventure. Okay, so we decided not to anchor in Cabo Tres Puntas. We actually got hit just at the edge of a storm. We had to drop our head sail and just hang out with our main for a second, right about when we were passing that area. And so we still have wind, which we weren't really expecting, and we're just kind of pointed into it right now, going about 3 to 4 knots. And we decided, let's just keep going, and if we feel like we can't maneuver through the sand area, then we'll go ahead and drop the dinghy closer too. But we also had checked out the tide charts too. There's a 2-foot tide difference, and we should be tracking right now to hit just at high tide. So that was kind of another reason that we didn't stop, and that way we'll be here ready to check in early in the morning and hopefully be able to get everything done in a timely manner and then head up the river. Yeah, it's just really trafficy. I think I'm actually just kind of getting residual wind from these storms that are kind of off in the distance, and I think we're definitely getting some katabatic wind, but we should be there in about 3 hours. Beau's taking a nap right now, and I wish I was too. But we're so close.
Pretty much lost all wind.
How far are we away?
Less than 3 miles. I think we're gonna have to drop the motor soon.
Oh, what time is it?
5:39.
We took over at like 5:15.
I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. Where's the entrance over there?
What?
The entrance over there. Is that the entrance? Or is that the... Oh wait, we're facing back out. Where's the entrance? Back over there?
No, yeah, it's over there.
Over there. What do you want to do now? Do you want to go ahead and drop it now?
Yeah, we got a little bit of wind, but the closer I get, the less wind, and it's kind of spotty.
Yeah.
I kept falling off.
Well, we don't want to go in with that, so.
Yeah.
You want to what, hon?
Can you tack it without tacking it?
Yeah. You mean without tacking the main?
Just back that.
Yeah.
Don't actually
I'm not.
loosen it.
I'm not. And the mountains are pretty. Are you gonna pull in on the starboard rope, starboard line? To help it? No? Love, it's gonna go in the water if you don't pull. Hold on. Can you lower it a little bit?
Watch your corner.
I'm normally the one who lowers it all the way.
Typically, but ready?
No? You want me to drop it?
Yeah, why not?
Normally the pontoons are touching the flip ground, but go ahead.
Sort of a little more.
It's just not, it's not like,
Nothing's catching. Don't let go of those.
I'm not. Go, go. Splash down. All right, Patches. Hope you're ready for this.
Start your motor.
This area is notorious for having boats run aground because of the shallow depths. The entrance of Livingston is protected by a sandbar of about 5 feet, but since we only draft 4 feet, along with the rising tide and the rising sun, we couldn't have timed this entrance any more perfectly. We navigated through the markers that we had marked down on our charts, and it took about 3 hours for the dinghy to push us over the sandbar. Now, if you were to run aground, don't worry. You would have a guy come out, grab your masthead halyard, tilt you over 30 degrees, and drive at full speed through the sandbar. But thank goodness we didn't need those services. Welcome to Guatemala. We made it, we dropped anchor. Now we have to go and deal with the rigmarole that is customs and immigration. There is a guy here that you're supposed to kind of contact, and he takes care of everything. And then customs and immigration will come out to the boat. So I'm gonna go drop Beau off. He's gonna take care of all of that, I guess, paperwork and stuff. We can actually try to call him on, or hail him on channel 16 on the radio, but unfortunately he's not answering. It could be too early, I don't know. But we saw some other people go in, so we want to make sure that we can get this done and hopefully get out of here sooner than later.